the floor. I'm doing it.
Moko on the beat.
Listen, I can see my people, see my people in my house. I can see my people in rivers. I also see my people in downtown, Cross River and Akwa Ibom. In Edo State, I can see my people in Enugu. I can see my people in Anambra. I also see my people in Ebonyi, Imo and Abia, Igala and Igama, Biafra.
Welcome viewers to Biafra Television, London, and this is Biafra Watchdog. Today in Biafra Watchdog we have a very important topic, an issue to trash. The other time Biafra Watchdog highlighted and intimated our viewers with the plot of the British Prime Minister David Cameron when he invited the trio of Nigerian presidents Buhari, Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, and he commissioned them to ensure that IPOB is terminated, and also to ensure that IPOB and Niger Delta Avengers who are fighting for their freedom do not have anything in common. Today, we are bringing to your notice that the British government have gone a step further in trying to undermine the restoration of Biafra. What has they done this time around? British government in connivance with the American government have hatched a plan to topple the president of Nigeria, who is an ailing and very sickly president, Muhammadu Buhari, who was in Britain some couple of days ago to treat himself of an ear problem that deteriorated to something else. The British government, seeing that the immediate president of Nigeria, the incumbent president, Muhammadu Buhari, is very, very sick and may not complete his tenure, has plotted with the northern elders and northern Fulani Hausa oligarchy to topple the government of Muhammadu Buhari and then replace it with a military government, so that if anything happens to Muhammadu Buhari, the government will not go back to the southern Nigeria, because the vice president of Nigeria is from the southern side of Nigeria, from the western part of the southern Nigeria. So they have planned with the military chiefs in Nigeria to topple the government of Muhammadu Buhari. And the highlight of this plot is that the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, who is presently being incarcerated in Kuje prison, Abuja, will be killed in the process of this coup d'etat. This plot has been revealed to the Directorate of State of the indigenous people of Biafra, to which the coordinator of coordinators alerted the entire world that the British government and America has plotted to overthrow the government of Muhammadu Buhari and install the military government that will be headed by a northerner. I'm not going to talk about this very hot issue alone. I'm not going to discuss it alone. Like as it is in our custom in Biafra Watchdog, we are going to trash this issue in the panel here today. And today in Biafra Watchdog, my panel is composed of, from my immediate right,
I am Amadubase Oba. We are Biafrans. We are coming to you from Watchdog. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much, Amadubase. Today you look very handsome. It's like you're welcome today. And from my immediate left, you have
welcome viewers at home and friends of Biafra and lovers of freedom at home. We are here again today on Biafra Watchdog. This is still myself, Carlo Abu Obrawa, from Dadike Okpan in Akano Hofia in Biafra land. Stay tuned and enjoy our discussion today. Thank you.
You are welcome to this program.
Thank you, sir.
And from my extreme left, you have
my name is Maazi Onyebuchi Osorobi from Kebbi City in Isialamba, North Biafra land, Imo State. Keep tuned watching.
You are welcome, Mr. Osorobi.
Thank you.
You are wonderful. And this is Ikechukwu Morisa here today, moderating in this program. Like I was saying, I'm not going to discuss this issue of the plot by the Anglo American leaders to topple the government of Muhammadu Buhari, to install a military government in Nigeria, so as to forestall the effort of the indigenous people of Biafra to restore the Federal Republic of Biafra. I am going to come to you, Mr. Abu Khan. You remember that some couple of days ago, some soldiers of the Southern extraction were laid out of the military in Nigeria. Do you think this have anything to do with the plot to topple the government of Muhammadu Buhari?
Yes, of course it does. I can categorically tell you that this is not a surprise to any well-meaning African, because if you could take a precedent on what happened in Berlin in the year 1884 and 1885, where they sat in Berlin to draw a map on how to share Africa to themselves for their economic and other beneficial reasons. Now, coming to this present situation, I would like to let our audience to understand that whatever that is happening now is something that has happened before. If you could remember, anybody who comes out of Africa with a genuine ideology to liberate the people of Africa from that shackle of slavery, the British and their counterpart, the Americans, they will always scheme a way on how to eliminate or to remove the person. Let us take the issue of Patrice Lumumba, for example.
Yes.
Now,
of the Federal Republic of Congo.
Yes, of the Congo, DRC.
Congo DRC.
So now, coming to the Nigerian armed forces, their reshufflement, let me put it as if it were a reshufflement. This is to tell you that the Nigerian system has never been coherent since Nigeria was created. There has been problems from one administration to the other. All the successive administrations in the Nigerian state have always had this premonition that there will be coup d'etat. So now, if you follow the event that is happening in Nigeria, you know the emergence of the indigenous people of Biafra seeking for the restoration of the sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra has given a lot
I want to actually redirect you a little bit
Okay.
so you can understand where we are coming from.
Okay.
Now, this reshufflement that took place in the Nigerian military,
Yes.
with the imminent and impending plot
Yes.
to overthrow the government of Muhammadu Buhari
Yes.
by the British and American conspirators.
Yes.
I want to see if there is anything linking this retrenchment
Of course.
with the plot.
Of course.
Osorobi, do you think there is anything that has got anything to do with the plot to overthrow Muhammadu Buhari? Because they believe that the southern senior military officers could be a very big a stumbling block to them.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. Most times we don't understand things from history. When Muhammadu Buhari took over powers in 1983, that was exactly what happened to the military of the Southerners.
Okay.
They retrenched them, and then before they could know it, Muhammadu Buhari and the Northerners have arranged to topple the government of the democratically elected president
Of Shehu Shagari.
Then, now, the time has come when we have to understand that the Northerners, and the Northerners I'm talking about are the Hausa Fulani oligarchy, are just in agriculture. That's what we call pre-nursery and nursery. All right?
Yeah.
When you must have nursed a plant to a particular stage,
Yes.
from nursery to a grown stage,
Okay.
then what do? You transplant.
Okay.
Now, all the Hausa Fulani are the pre and nursery plants of the British and the American cohorts,
Okay.
who use Africans to make and enrich themselves economically and otherwise.
Okay.
Now, they saw, for instance, when Muhammad Buhari came to power, you will understand and you will agree with me that before the result has been announced, Goodluck Jonathan has already withdrawn and proclaimed and pronounced Muhammad Buhari the winner, and congratulated him before the result was counted.
Okay.
That was what they did in those days. Do you know America and also the British government, the Britain and the Europeans,
Yes.
they went as far as telling Goodluck Jonathan, if you don't move out, you are a dead man. The best way you can secure your life and then enjoy the little you have made is by leaving this office, because we are not counting on election, we are counting on the powers we want to be
there.
So, for us to talk about the government of Africa, I am telling the whole Africa that what that existed in Nigeria from 1914 up to date has not been a democracy, except the democracy in which the only qualified leader in those days, though we used to call him woman rapper, was this young man, Goodluck Jonathan, who is the only graduate who has ever ruled and chaired the seat of Nigeria. When he went in there, everything the law says he will do. Now, how come the British and the American government go and bring all the retired generals of the North and then held a meeting with them and signed a memorandum and said they are going to do what? Topple the government of Buhari, because Buhari has somehow failed in doing their biddings. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
Buhari never favored Nigerians. Buhari never favored them who gave him power, because he has been a tyrant, and a tyrant will remain until he dies. And that is why when Buhari had it, Buhari came back unexpectedly. He never wanted to come back because he was aware what was about to happen. So now his office, I want us to understand that also nemesis works on somebody. From day one, Buhari started leading, heading Nigeria as a head of state. He has never been a president, rather a head of state. Even up to now, he's in democratic setting. Buhari has been taking powers by what? Coup d'etat. Any sitting is taking place must be by coup d'etat. And those whom he did the coup d'etat against in the north has now gone in to draw the table of coup d'etat against him. So, and then they cannot do that without letting go all the sultanates, because the coup cannot hold if the sultanates are there present. That's why they were able to shortlist and reshuffle the military and then retrench all the southern generals from the Nigerian government.
Thank you very much, Osorobi. You see, there's something that is actually reoccurring in the system. The Western world is actually remote controlling what is happening in Africa. If you remember the government of Murtala Mohammed, Murtala Mohammed was the president that stopped the UBA, Barclays Bank, and converted it to UBA, to Union Bank. And he also changed British Petroleum to African Petroleum, which we have today as AP.
Yes.
And this didn't go well with the British government.
Yes.
And they plotted against him and toppled him. I still remember what happened in Burkina Faso. How they also plotted and toppled the government of Samuel Sankara, who was doing very, very well.
Honestly,
Thomas Sankara. Now, again, because they see that Muhammad Buhari is very sick and very ill and probably may not be fit to continue in office, even if he didn't die, they now want those people they can also remote control. And that is why they are going to the north by trying to plot a coup. And at the end of the day, this is not an army general coup. That they want to top. It's just kind of a palace coup. They are not going to keep Buhari, of course, but they are going to do a palace coup. But because the IPOB intelligence was able to uncover their plot and reveal it, Buhari now got the wind of it and had to rush back.
And you know what he said when he came back? He said, I am now back fit. I can wrestle anybody. For them to understand that he was not as sick as not handling his office. Though he was very sick, but he came, he made the pronouncement at the airport at Murtala Mohammed International Airport. When he arrived, he said, he is now back. He has bounced back. He was thanking those who are praying for him, and he said, I can now wrestle anybody. Tell you that he is fit to handle his government, and nobody will ever topple him. Do you get the gist?
Thank you. That is exactly the position.
But so that position is still the same position which the late Yaradua took. That I could remember in 2007 when they were doing their campaign and people were agitating, saying that this man is very, very sick. And the Obasanjo packaged him and gave him to the people. And he himself, he got to the media and said that if anybody said that he is sick, that he is challenging the person for a squash. A squash match. Yes. That was what he a squash. And you know what a squash is?
Yes, of course.
It's not everybody that can play squash. Yes. So at the end, he later joined his ancestors. So what I'm trying to say is this: we should not be carried away by what is happening, because we already know that the British people, they know that this man that they installed is not doing their bidding the way they want him to do it, because the challenge is facing the tyrant Buhari is too much. He cannot even control his life himself as he is now, not to talk of settling the issues holding Nigeria at the threshold.
Thank you, Abu, because I see it that way too. But our primary concern now is how this all affects our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who is now in the enemy's camp. Because the plot of the American and the British government is to topple Buhari, install a military leader, and in the process, assassinate Nnamdi Kanu in Kuje prison. Oba, the plot of the American and the British government is to kill our leader in prison. What do you think IPOB should be doing?
Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. The whole world is aware that Nnamdi Kanu is a man who has put his life on the line
for his people.
For his people, and to maintain the principles of democracy. to ensure that human right is respected in whatever you are doing. It is very worrying that the government of the United Kingdom and the government of the United States of America have come together to do something that is very bad against this modern age by trying to topple a democratic government through military action. It is very disgraceful to the government of America and the government of the United Kingdom. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, in the history back to 1,000 years, we have never seen a man like him, and no one should kill him. The leader of indigenous people of Biafra, trying to kill him or to plot to kill him is to work against democracy, against human rights, against the rule of law, against modern age, against what a common man can think of. Therefore, what the government of these two countries, that is the United States of America,
Yes.
and the Britain,
British government.
and the northern elites, this plan to overthrow Muhammadu Buhari on the process, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra who committed no crime will be killed, will resort to something that has never happened in the history. The government of the United Kingdom, the government of the United States of America, the government of the United Kingdom, the government of the United States of America, what they did in Libya, and they wanted to happen in Nigeria by trying to kill the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, is not going to work that way. Because the leader of indigenous people of Biafra has been able to recruit the people of Biafra around the world. And this particular movement to assassinate him is a disquiet issue that the people of Biafra will never keep quiet. The leader of indigenous people of Biafra right now, whom the government of America wants to kill, the government of the United Kingdom wants to kill, we are calling the people of America, the Congress, the Senate, and the people of goodwill in America to call the government of the United States of America to order, to rethink and to resist this particular meeting, because it will not augur well with anybody around the world. The same thing goes to the government of the United Kingdom. The MPs and other people of goodwill in the United Kingdom should call the government of David Cameron to order not to think of assassinating the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. Therefore, we are also using this platform to call the government of Russia Federation, Chinese government, EU, that's the European Union, and United Nations, to call the government of the United States of America and the government of United Kingdom to rethink, because Nnamdi Kanu is the kind of man the world needs now. This is modern age. Nnamdi Kanu understands democracy. Nnamdi Kanu understands how the world works now. Therefore, I am also calling the people of Biafra to remain resolute, to be watchful, to be careful, that we shall protect the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. If anything, any movement made to harm him, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra did not commit any crime, and no one should harm him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Amadi Basil. You see, when David Cameron and Buhari and Jonathan and Obasanjo were having their meeting the other time, as we explained and we told the entire world, David Cameron made a statement that the intelligence embedded in the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, indirectly referring to the intelligence of the director of indigenous people, director of Radio Biafra and leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, is so much that if they allow IPOB and the Niger Delta Avengers to work together, that it will result to something that they themselves cannot handle. So that is why they have come all out to even plot the demolition and the destruction and the overthrow of a democratically elected government of Muhammadu Buhari.
Do you know something? Behind that meeting, the plot there is that when President Muhammadu Buhari is being removed, do you understand?
Right?
Then, and Nnamdi Kanu is being killed, then they will arrest Goodluck Jonathan. So even Goodluck Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, should be careful. Should stand up, because this is Biafran watchdog.
As a matter of fact, Biafra watchdog is watching and is seeing what is actually happening. So the plot by the Anglo American leadership to meddle in the affairs of the Biafra restoration will never and can never stop the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra. This is Biafra watchdog. We are going to go on a short break now, and when we come back, we continue to find out why the Western powers can never rest in their oars to meddle in the affairs of Africa. Keep watching.
Mr. Pro, I'm doing it.
Moko on the beat.
My people, see my baby, my yes, I can see my people in rivers. I also see my people in downtown, Cross River and Akwa Ibom, even in the state. I can see my people in Enugu. I can see my people in Anambra. I also see my people in Ebonyi, Imo and Abia, Igala and Igama, Biafra, 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 Kingdom of God, Biafra, Obodo Chukwu Telemanu, Biafra, Obodo Chukwu Gosi. What a pleasant it could be before God and man to see the unification of all Biafrans. Has it been said already? Let it be done. We are the children of Chukwu.